All right, so you know who I think is missing, and we need to go find out where this nigga is and what he's doing, is Roddy Rich. So I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory. Roddy Rich came on, I'm not gonna say everybody's radar, but most people radar because of the box. Remember that song? I'm a coupon box, tell fuck swat, what's in the hands on the box? And it was attached to an album that was also surprisingly really good. Had some production on there from DJ Mustard. Genuinely from front to back, it was a decent project. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. You know, sometimes like I don't find out about artists until they blow up, and that's fine. But I do my research, and I went back and I was like, let me see who this Roddy Rich dude is. His earliest thing I could find on Spotify was Feed the Streets 2. So I'm guessing Feed the Streets 1 must have been like a really early mixtape or album that he dropped before he blew up and all that stuff, right? So Feed the Streets 2, decent project. Please excuse me for being antisocial, really good project, right? So just based on those two merits alone, Roddy Rich was up next. Everybody was like, man, when Roddy gonna drop? What's next, Roddy Rich? What's next? What's this? What's that? And also, not only he can sing, right? I'm not gonna say he's the greatest singer, but he can carry a tune, he can rap, and he plays instruments. So, like, as far as like a project as a whole, it's really good, really decent, usually filled with like these um uh orchestra type instrumentals in the background, just really good stuff, right? But then he fucked up and he dropped a bad album. He dropped Live Life Fast in 2021, which was a complete flop. Now, I listened to it. Did I like it? It was okay, right? I don't think it was the worst thing I've ever heard. If I had to give a review for it, maybe I would have gave it a 5. I would have to go back and listen to it again, right? Just a very middle of the road album. But from what the public was expecting from Roddy Rich and what he delivered was on two different accounts. Therefore, now everybody's now brushing off Roddy, talking about how trash he is, just giving him a very hard time because of the one bad album. And this is one of them things, right? As a rapper, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. I think as a rapper, your first 4 albums are the most important. Your first 4 albums is kind of like what either makes or breaks you, or kind of like puts you in a category of like what your rap career is gonna look like. And then it's kind of weird, right? To where it's like either one, if you put out like for Roddy Rich instance, right, putting out 2 really good albums in a row, we're expecting the next one to either top that or to be at the same level. If it's not, then you're trash, even though the other 2 albums was fire. So now Roddy is completely missing in action. We don't know where this nigga is. So he did feature on Kendrick Lamar's album, and he dropped 2 singles in anticipation for his upcoming project. Other than that, we don't hear from him much. He stay low in the media, and he's just completely missing, like the fucking Avatar. When you need him the most, the nigga's gone, right? I kind of want to have us wrap our brain about why that might be, or why in general is he taking so long to drop. Low key, y'all, I think he's scared. I think y'all as fans done bullied this nigga into not dropping. The perfect example of what I'm talking about here is, I'm gonna call it the Frank Ocean effect, right? Now, on a personal level, I think Frank Ocean is okay. I think his music is, it's just that, is okay. Like, I listen to it, and whenever you have Frank Ocean fans talk about Frank Ocean and they talk about Blonde or Chanel Orange, I think it's Chanel Orange, Channel Orange, they talk about this nigga like, I don't know, man. They talk about Frank Ocean like the niggas God gives to earth. Like, this is the greatest piece of music that somebody ever dropped. And I listen to it, I'm just like, it's okay, but I don't really think it's worth the hype. But anyways, when's the last time Frank Ocean dropped a project? It's been years, man. I think this nigga haven't dropped something since I was in high school, right? As a matter of fact, let's go look. I'm about to look. Hold on. The last time Frank Ocean dropped something was Blonde in 2016. You know how old I was in 2016, bro? I was 16 years old, dog. I was 16. This nigga haven't dropped something in that's going on 9 years. Is my math right? Yeah, because next year is gonna be 2026. This nigga haven't dropped nothing in about 9 years. Why? Because as fans, y'all hype Blonde to hell. Y'all hype Chanel Orange, Channel Orange to hell. And now y'all are dogging this nigga. Y'all are dogging this nigga on the internet. When you gonna drop? When you gonna drop? What, Frank, when's the new music? When's the new this? When's the new that? Even if you're in a creative space in order to make the music, it will never. And maybe it will live up to expectation. But from the creator standpoint, the hype is so fucking big, it's never gonna live up to y'all's expectation. And on top of that, it's kind of like this effect, like the longer it goes on and the longer I wait to put out the album, is the more the hype builds. So that if I do drop and the album is bullshit, then there goes my entire legacy, there go my entire career. Another great example is with Playboi Carti. Now, some of y'all Playboi Carti fans might not agree with this, but just understand what I'm saying here for a second. Playboi Carti took a hella long time. I think it was like 4 or 5 years between Whole Lotta Red to drop music, right? Now, one of the biggest factors why music, not saying that album did bad, because commercially it's doing great and it's a great project for him, right? And for his fans. Happy for y'all. But the reason why it's so divided, it's because this nigga built this hype, and for a lot of folks outside of his fan base, or hell, even some of his fan base, the music didn't live up to the hype. So it's the same thing that's happening with Roddy Rich, and I think like low key, the nigga is just scared to drop. Even though the 2 singles that he got on his page right now going towards the album, really good singles. I got both of them saved, revisit them songs all the time because I'm low key a Roddy Rich fan. Like I want this nigga to succeed. I want this nigga to do well. For the most part, he's scared to drop, and it's understandable, as seeing as if he already failed with one tape, he already failed with his junior project. So if this senior project is a flop, I think Roddy Ricch is just gonna go down in history just like a one-hit wonder rapper in terms of like albums, and that's shitty. Like I don't really want that for anybody, really.